Hi guys, my name is Preston and this is my game, Who Wants to Participate? Before I start, I'm just gonna start off, before I start telling directions, I'm gonna start off by saying, as you guys may or may not have heard during the semester, wasn't really on board with this idea that games during TechCom would make it easier. Because so far, all the games have been the same thing. You know, they've all been the same assignments, just with a different idea. Everyone has to write a letter, everyone has to do a design brief, whatever, but you're a skateboarding advertiser, or you're a microbiologist, or you're in a competition and you're doing a tournament style. It's all the same thing. And when I finally got around to actually making my game, I decided that I wanted to do something different that would actually help all classes instead of just TechCom. So yes, technically this is a game that can be used in TechCom to help yourself, which is the rules that we have to abide by for the assignment. However, this is also a game that can be used in any class, whether it be physics, math, history, or whatever you're in. So, first of all, what you'll need is a computer program that has a list of all the students in the class, the ability to keep a running total of points, like a scoring system, and has a random generator which will actually pick students at random from the list of applied students. The other thing you're going to need is actually a group of motivated students in your class, so it'll work. Gameplay. So first of all, like any actual class, every student should come to class prepared. That's just kind of a given. When a teacher asks a question, every student will raise their hands like normal. When Professor Atkins asks a question, of course, every single one of us will raise our hands during a classroom and try to participate. After that, the random number generator, or the random generator in the program, will pick one student at random, and that student will be asked the question. If the student gets it right, they will receive 2 points towards their overall score. If they get it wrong, they will lose 1 point. What this does is two things. One, it ensures that every single student will have to come to class prepared and ready to participate. They have to know their stuff, otherwise they're going to lose points when they're randomly called on by the random generator. The other thing is, it separates the idea of raising your hand and be willing to participate in class from the actual action of having the knowledge. What does this do? It conditions the students to whenever a teacher asks a question, to just subconsciously want to raise their hand, because whenever a teacher asks a question and they raise their hands, they automatically receive 1 point. Over the course of a semester, you're going to have students who gain lots of points by actually answering questions correctly, or lose points by not knowing their stuff. But you'll also have those students who, just by being willing to participate, will slowly gain up their score over the course of the semester. Now, if a teacher asks a question like, would someone please add in some work? Would someone please give us a demonstration of their writing assignment they did last night? Like we've all done before, he's called us up, asked us to read out our selections that we wrote for homework. The selected student will have to provide a writing sample, or a math problem, or do a physics problem on the board, or whatever it happens to be. If the student either doesn't know how to do it, or they didn't do the assignment, or they're not prepared, they're going to receive a 0 out of 5, and that's a lot of points that you're missing out on. Aside from that, the teacher will grade it, just subconsciously. I'd give it a 60%, so they get a 3 out of 5. Or this student did really, really well on their assignment, so they'll get a 5. And those points will be added into the score. At the end of each day, the student with the lowest score, aka they didn't participate, they will be moved to the top of the queue, and they will be the first ones to participate at the beginning of next class. So it actually requires the students who don't participate to participate at the next class. Now, scoring, essentially, students will receive a running total of their score. At the end of the semester, the 3 students with the most amount of points will actually gain 5 bonus points towards our participation grade, because every class has participation points, every class has participation grades. Aside from that, the students will be ranked depending on how many points they have at the end of the semester, and they will receive their participation grade based on that score. Just as a side note, teachers should probably post the rankings on the side of the board or something every week or every 2 weeks, just so students know where they are in the scoring and their grade. Results: this game will highly promote class participation. It will also make it in the best interest of all students to be prepared, because it doesn't matter whether or not they're going to raise their hand, they're still going to be called on during class. And it singles out the the students with the lowest participation makes it participate. My thesis: by implementing this game into the classroom, teachers will quickly see a rise in student participation and a massive increase in test and assignment scores, because the students will actually be learning the material instead of skating by in their own bubble of disinterest towards a curriculum. Now, normally by this point, I would be done with my presentation and ask for questions. However, since no one actually has any real incentive to raise their hand or ask a question, when I ask if anyone has any questions, I'm betting 2 or 3 students will actually have questions, but the rest of you guys are just going to ignore every single thing I said. Questions? 3. Yes?
How do you keep track, like in, say, chemistry, when there's 150 people in there, how do you keep track of who raises their hand and who doesn't?
What we used to do during one of my math classes was, back in high school, is every single student actually received a clicker, and when they wanted to answer a question, they just click towards a counter, and it actually recorded each student for what they wanted to do. Yeah. Someone else? Yes?
Is this just basically going to be based towards the participation grade or the overall?
This will be based towards a participation grade, but the idea of the game is it actually conditions students to want to participate whenever the teacher asks a question. It's kind of like the idea of Pavlov's dogs, where whenever Professor Adkin asks if anyone wants to participate, all of you guys will subconsciously just want to do it. And if you do it over a semester, the likelihood of that actually happening is pretty high.
So we get a treat afterwards.
Exactly, get points.
So what's the point of raising your hand then if you don't have the answer to the actual question?
If you don't have the answer, like I said earlier, I'm trying to separate the willingness to participate during class, which means that you'll be active and you'll be paying attention, apart from the actual having the correct answer, because when you're willing to participate, you actually pay attention and you're going to learn more during class. When I'm sitting there playing bubble balloons or whatever it is on my computer and not actually participating, I'm not paying attention to Professor Adkins and I'm not actually learning anything. However, when I'm paying attention and waiting for the teacher to ask for people to participate, I will start learning. And so what hopefully it'll do is it'll give a very, very small reward to the students who are constantly willing to participate, which at the end of the semester will build up to a decent amount of points. However, if you're willing to participate and you actually answer questions correctly, then you'll still receive a higher score than those who are just willing to participate. If that makes sense.
All right, one more. We gotta move on, but one more.
Alright, will the students know that they get that point by raising their hand?
Yeah. Well, if you just stay at the beginning of the year, you know, if you guys raise your hand, you outline the rules of the game, and the teacher's just up here with their computer screen in the program, just input it really fast. You know, if I just assign each one of you guys a number, and then say, just put in your number when you raise your hand, or Professor Atkins' number when he raises his hand, then it'll automatically keep the score going. And if you constantly post the results up on the board or something like that every couple of weeks, the students will see their score increasing.
This is such a good game. I hate to stop the questions, but I'm gonna have. I want one last question, and it really has to do. This will be applicable to several of you. Okay? You don't have to take me. Stop that.